Hello and welcome to the Busworthy YouTube channel. I am your host, Matt Hartman, and today we are going to be we're going to start previewing the Combine. I will be in Indy. I am going to be there for all 4 days, and I thought, hey, why not talk about all the players that I think are worth mentioning and deserve to, keep an eye on, keep a lookout for, and that's what I'm gonna do today. We're gonna start at the top. He's on the screen. Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson. He has the potential to be the combine standout of not just day one, but the entire weekend. I think this guy is a freak up and down from head to toe. He had an interview today, as I record this early Wednesday. He actually had an interview today, and he said he wants to run in the 4.4s. He wants to jump 11 feet in the broad, and he wants to get as close or over 40 inches in the vertical jump as he can. If he hits, and he said he's hit all of those numbers in training. If he can hit those numbers, that would be all-time freak list, all-time athlete. And the tape you watch, and what I'm super excited for is his 10-yard split. I think his 10-yard split, the way this guy gets off the ball is second to none. He has a very unique trait of being able to explode off the line and bend and dip the edge. Like there were so many, like his win rate is through the roof, and it's literally because and sometimes tackles half the time can't even get a hand on him. He explodes off the ball that fast, and he's going to be the highlight of the weekend for me. I am so excited to see this guy perform because he's going to put on a show. He's going to put on a one of a kind, unique show for the people in Indy. And then we get into the next. I'm going to talk about Latu Latu. I think I could talk about all three of the top edges. Dallas Turner. I think Dallas Turner is going to work out very well. I think Jared Verse, he's a bigger guy. He's about built around the same as Latu, maybe a little lighter. But Latu, he needs a good combine. It is kind of I think there are many questions on like his hand usage and his way to win rushing the passer is real, and he has it. Like this past season, 62 pressures, 52 the year before. He had a win rate in the 20s, I believe. So he knows how to win rushing the passer. They had an outstanding grade of 94 for him. Like he can rush the passer. The only thing is, does he have the NFL athlete numbers to back up the tape? And that's kind of the biggest question with him. If he can, you know, run in the 4.6s, 4.7, I think I would be impressed with that. And then the vertical and the broad, things like that. It's just he needs to have a good combine because he needs to keep pace with those other two. And if you see a noticeable difference in going, oh, Dallas Turner's a freak, ooh, Jared Verse, I mean, his tape isn't athlete numbers, but he tests well as an athlete. And then you have Chop Robinson coming up on that edge four tier, going, hey, don't forget about me. I'm a freak list too. You know, like Nolan Smith did last year. I think that's kind of where we're at. And Latu puts up a stinker, he could plummet down the rankings, and people are going, he can rush the passer very well, but he's not a good anchor in the run game. He's not an NFL. He's not an athlete in comparison to those other three. He could really drop. I don't want to say drastically out of the first round or anything, but I think he could drop to edge four out of that top tier, and I think all four of those guys should be in that top tier. And then we get into I want to talk about a sleeper. I could talk about Austin Booker from Kansas. I think he's going to light up the show. He's about 6'3", 245. I could talk about my guy at the Senior Bowl, Darius Robinson. Both those guys are getting a lot of love right now. So I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to talk about a little deeper guy in day three, Xavier Thomas out of Clemson. He is a sixth-year senior. He has not played particularly a lot of football. You hear 6 years, you think, oh, he would have 1,000 pass rush snaps. No, he doesn't. This was his first real year since 2021. He has real athlete um, projection in the draft. I think he could test well here. He's an older guy, of course, 6th year, but he has real pocket pushing ability that I like to see. And I think if the testing numbers are there, 6'2", 255, I imagine he'll probably be a little lighter so he can run that 40 time. Maybe dip into the 4.6s, maybe touch the 4.5s. Who knows? But that's kind of the sleeper of this class that I think if he has a big day and you're kind of going, oh, Xavier Thomas, who is this guy? You turn on the tape, you go, oh, there's something here. He's played a lot of football. I think this guy could, be a day 3 pick now, but with a good combine, he could jump into the top 100. I really do believe that. In I don't want to say a lighter edge class, but it's better than last year. Then we get into the linebackers. I want to talk about Junior Coulson, my linebacker one, in comparison to Edgerrin Cooper. I think both guys are going to test very well. Edgerrin Cooper from Texas A&M is going to fly at the combine. He is going to run so fast. But what separates him and Junior Coulson, both underclassmen, is I think Junior Coulson is built he's bigger. He is bigger. I think he has typical Mike linebacker size while not sacrificing on the athletics as much as Edgerrin Cooper. I think Edgerrin Cooper is he plays the run fine. It flies laterally, and but the thing about him is that the zone instincts aren't there, and I think Junior Coulson is just built all around just a little bit better than Edgerrin Cooper. You could come out and be like, oh, Edgerrin Cooper had better numbers, but I think Junior Coulson is my linebacker one because I think there's real Mike projection with him, that I see this guy being a Mike linebacker, being a guy that you can go, all right, he's the guy. And where Edgerrin Cooper, I think he's more of a tertiary linebacker piece, just my opinion. He's a 3-year starter at a big school. Michigan wins. He made the playoff all 3 years of his career. He's played enough football, played over 1,500 snaps, that I believe, and of course just turned 21, freshly 21. So I think he has a lot of projection to do well. Also want to throw a shout out to Jeremiah Trotter from Clemson. I think he is another underclassman that you can group with Coulson and Cooper. I don't think he's going to be drafted as high because I don't think he has a unique over-the-top trait like these other two. But I think he's a guy who could go in the top 3 rounds in comparison to the other two. Maybe not day 2 or second round like these two guys will, but I think he could jump up there. And then let's talk about Payton Wilson, Wolfpack alum. He's weird because he has a lot of medical issues. I forgot to mention that with Latu. He has medical issues too. That's another big thing. Payton Wilson, he's an older guy. He's going to be 24 when he's drafted. The thing about him is he has the best tape of anybody. The thing about him is the medicals are rough. He missed nearly all of 2021. He's played the other 4 years pretty solidly, but neck injuries, things like that, those wear and tear on your body. I'm pretty sure he had a significant knee injury. So he needs to have a good medical testing, and then he's going to go out there, and I think if he can keep pace with those other two guys, Coulson and Edgerrin Cooper, he could push to be linebacker 1. I don't doubt it, but I just don't see him being a linebacker 1 to a team like Arizona or a team like, I'm trying to think, like a rebuilding football team. The Commanders have 2 second-round picks. But I could see him filling like Dallas, Philly, these teams with linebacker needs and Super Bowl aspirations. He could go in there, learn your system. If he's on the field, he's going to make an impact because he has the best tape of anyone here. It is what it is. The other guy, Tommy Eichenberg, he's another graduate. He's going to have a good combine. I think he's an underrated, not as talked about as much in comparison to those other guys. I think he's a top 100 player. I do believe that. And he's going to go in the top 3 rounds. He's another one who could take over the combine. OHIO, those guys always are big ticket players at the combine. But yeah, I think throwing a shout out to him too. And then my sleeper, I'll talk about another day 3 guy. You guessed it, hook 'em horns. Jalen Ford from Texas. He has ideal Mike size at the next level. He's played a lot of football. Like he's played over 2,000 snaps in his career. 1,900 as a starter. He started alongside DeMarvion Overshone, and this year he kind of finally got to run that Mike. Uh, run the defense, and it helps when you have a great pass rush in Byron Murphy and Devondre Sweat. But yeah, I just those guys I want to mention, because it makes Jalen Ford's life a lot easier. But if he can have a good combine, I really think he could jump up into, maybe not day 2, but early day 3. I think this guy could be someone you circle. If he has a good combine, you go, oh, he's played a lot of football. Maybe he's not a starter day 1, but we want him on the roster. I think he's a good football player, and that's what I believe. And then we keep moving this along. We get into the interior D-line guys. Byron Murphy, the second, out of Texas, one of my favorite players in the entire class. Yes, because he's a Longhorn, but also because he has real pass rushing juice. In comparison to everyone else, I think he is the best pass rusher of anyone on the interior D-line, like even compared to Johnny Newton, who's I'm not going to talk about because he's not doing any of the drills. But yeah, I think he has real production, 36 pressures and 32 pass rush snaps. He's played enough over the last 3 years that I think you can project him comfortably. He's only 21, only getting better. He'll be 22 by the time week 1 rolls around, as you can see, September 8th. But yeah, I think he is the best interior D lineman in the entire class. And then we get to his teammate, Devondre Sweat, won the D-Line of the Year award in college football. He is massive. He is 6'4", 262. I imagine he comes in at like 350, or I said 262, 362. I imagine he comes in around 350, so he can run that 40. We saw Jordan Davis dominated as a nose tackle at this event, and he really pushed up the boards into the top 15. I don't project that quite with Sweat, but I do believe that Sweat is going to have a good enough combine that pushes him into round 2 pretty comfortably, pretty easily, to project that this guy is going to be good at the next level. He's played a lot of football, of course, a senior. Didn't do anything at the Senior Bowl. Didn't really have to. Like, he didn't. I don't think he played in the game. He didn't really have to dominate, but he did. He did dominate. He was the power and the off the line conversion into power for him, because he's so massive. It's so easy to project. And then we get into my sleeper, maybe not a sleeper, but a guy I could see no one is talking about that could fly up boards. It's Michael Hall Jr. out of Ohio State. This is so interesting for me because he is 3 days younger than me. I'm only 20 years old, and there's a guy who I'm projecting is going to have a massive combine, and he's younger than me. It's just wild to me. I don't know. It only matters to me. But this is a guy with very limited snaps in college. You see that 653. But when you watch his tape, I was watching Tommy Eichenberg, you just see number 51 pop off the film. There are times where he just bull rushes someone. He is just making a beeline to the quarterback, and he projects as a real athlete, and I think he could dominate this event. That you just go, Michael Hall Jr. is pretty good, and then you just put the numbers on the paper, and you go, whoa, maybe I got to go back and look, and you're going to go back and look and go, whoa, he's popping off on the film too, and I think he could really jump up boards by the time April rolls around. But that's it for the D-line and linebackers. I will see you tomorrow when we talk about the corners and the tight end, or DBs in general, not just corners. Corners and I did again. DBs and tight ends, but that's all for me. Hope you enjoyed. Enjoy day one of the combine. I will enjoy it. So, thank you so much.